pick me up. Let's go see if you have a new Instagram like.
You were gonna do this laundry 3 days ago. I knew you couldn't be trusted.
Hey, you worked so hard today. You totally deserve a sweet, tasty treat. Why don't you just have one?
I recently embraced minimalism and decluttered my entire apartment. In the process, I discovered a minimalist secret. Your stuff is talking to you. Have you ever felt overwhelmed just looking at all the stuff you surrounded yourself with? Maybe you weren't conscious of what was causing it, but you just felt a sense of dread, a lack of inspiration as you looked around. Well, I recently had this insight, where like a light bulb went off in my head.
Every item that you allow in your space isn't just an inanimate object. On the surface it is, but everything that captures your attention leaves an imprint on your brain, especially the things you see on a daily basis. And with those things, it's as if they take on a personality. They want to be cared for. If they are neglected, their message only becomes louder.
I first learned about this concept in the book Goodbye Things by Japanese minimalist Fumio Sasaki. He calls it the silent to-do list.
This list consists of all the messages our stuff sends us, like the messy desk which wants to be organized, or the dishes that need cleaning. The idea is that with each thing we acquire, we add a new item to the silent to-do list. This list gets longer and longer as we accumulate material possessions. And it starts to affect our ability to focus. At some point, the list becomes so long that it's just overwhelming. We're surrounded by so many menial tasks that are fighting for our attention that we can't get around to doing what's important. The easy way out is to just ignore it, and we become lazy and unmotivated.
In my video How Minimalism Has Changed My Life, which I will link to up here, I spoke about the time when all I had was a mattress and a lamp for a few weeks. It was a liberating feeling. There was nothing around to send me silent messages. However, I'm not here to tell you that you should get rid of all your things to regain mental clarity. I own a bunch of things myself, even though I consider myself a minimalist. Sometimes I think the term minimalism is a misnomer. Essentialism would be more accurate. It's not about not owning anything, but about eliminating distractions and excess so you can focus on the things that are truly important.
A way of looking at all your excess stuff is imagining having a roommate that doesn't pay rent and also doesn't help out with the household chores. If this was an actual person, you would have kicked them out a long time ago.
Yet, we tend to treat the things we own differently. One explanation might be what is called the sunk cost fallacy. In economics, this basically means that when you are invested in something, you overvalue that thing. This is why it's so hard to pull the plug on a failing business venture or on a project you've been working on for a long time. But this idea equally applies to letting go of that old chair that's just gathering dust in the corner. It can be hard, right?
So, is the goal to end up with an empty silent to-do list? No. As long as you have things, there will always be items on your silent to-do list. But by cutting down on our possessions, you eliminate tasks from the list. And once you've stripped all the clutter away, it will become easier to prioritize the messages that remain. Also, open space, when left empty, brings about a sense of calm, of freedom. It opens our minds to the more important things in life. An interesting side effect that I noticed is that the nature of the silent messages also changes. Through the process of decluttering, we remove things that don't actually spark joy, as Marie Kondo suggests, and are merely taking up space. It's often those items that send us the silent messages we dislike the most. The mess in the closet, the chaos in the living room. Once those items are removed, the things you really care about can take center stage. And since you now attend quickly to the needs of the things you have chosen to keep, it's no longer just silent to-dos coming your way. When your eyes go across the room, you will now also be rewarded with positive messages, ones of appreciation.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We look so organized.
Another way of looking at it is that if you don't shape your environment, it will shape you. If your work or living space is really cluttered, all that stuff is fighting to get your attention. And
you will need to exert a lot of willpower to ignore those silent messages and stay focused.
However, if you are serious about achieving your goals, willpower isn't what you will want to rely on. Your willpower is like a muscle. It depletes by using it. And when it's exhausted, you can't focus anymore and you will most likely give in to your lower impulses. In his best-selling book Atomic Habits, James Clear writes that environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. Despite our unique personalities, certain behaviors tend to arise again and again under certain environmental conditions. In church, people tend to talk in whispers. On a dark street, people act wary and guarded. In this way, the most common form of change is not internal but external. We are changed by the world around us. Every habit is context dependent.
Similarly, in his book Willpower Doesn't Work, Benjamin Hardy argues that if you really care about achieving your goals, you need to shape your environment.
For example, let's say you want to quit smoking, but you keep one pack of cigarettes for emergencies. Now, with each urge, you will hear those silent messages coming from that pack of cigarettes. You'll need to use a lot of willpower to resist those. There are only so many times that you can do this before you give in to the urge. If willpower was all you needed to get rid of bad habits, there wouldn't be a billion-dollar weight loss industry. But if you throw out all your cigarettes, now you have a shot at it. At least at home, your environment is now propelling you forward toward a smoke-free existence. And ultimately, not smoking becomes your default behavior.
After decluttering your work or living space, you can take the concept of environmental design to the next level by adding something that will be a positive task on your silent to-do list.
For example, right now I'm in the middle of a 30-day yoga challenge. Before I go to sleep, I roll out my yoga mat on the floor. When I walk into the living room the next morning and look down, I immediately get the silent message that I need to do yoga.
Let's recap. Your stuff is talking to you, and it can be overwhelming. But you can take back control by getting rid of the stuff that doesn't spark joy and only keeping the things you truly value. That will already do amazing things for your mental clarity. But if you want to supercharge your improved ability to focus, you can shape your environment to create conditions that make your success inevitable. In my case, I want to live more slowly.
One thing I did to help me get there was changing something in my environment. I made a simple poster with the word slow on it and framed it. Now, every time it catches my eye, it serves as a gentle reminder of this intention.
I hope you found this video helpful. It was a real game changer for me when I first heard about this concept. Let me know in the comments below. What is on your silent to-do list? Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to see more content just like this. And I will see you in the next one.